Now some process questions, and first up, justice for all. As the Times recently put it, if you saw it, need blind justice, noting many appointed lawyers not paid enough to allow them to do their jobs. Solution, more money. But the more interesting thing was what came out of a case in the state of Washington. A federal judge used the following example. 2 Washington cities failed to provide meaningful representation to poor criminal defendants, had effectively instituted a meet and plead system. Translation, they meet their clients for the first time, and before they even meet them or have a single conversation with them, they already have their plea agreements in their hands. Tell the truth without naming example, guys. Did you ever do that yourselves, or did you ever see colleagues do this? Because to the person who's never, the layperson out there, you say, how's that possible?
You know something, for very minor cases, you go to arraignments in Manhattan or the Bronx or anywhere else, and you have these very minor cases running through the system. It actually is not unusual where somebody's charged with a misdemeanor and an offer for an ACD and adjournment and contemplation.
They're talking about major felonies,
right,
for these
but
cases.
Major felonies, unfathomable to me that you're going to meet your client and have your client plead that very day to a major felony.
Well, it's beyond the obvious that the client's getting screwed. The other question it raises is the why. And I know it's money, but some of these guys got caseloads of like 200 cases. I mean, they don't have enough time in the day. Is that the dirty secret? Plus, they're probably a year or 2 out of law school, right?
Maybe, and then you turn around and you look also, it's just a disparity in the budget. So if you look even in Westchester County, for instance, the district attorney's budget is several times that of all of the defense bar that's supported by public dollars. So Legal Aid Society and the 18B panels for family law and for federal and for state felonies is a fraction. I believe it's maybe less than a third of what the DA's office has. And when you look at 18B lawyers, individual 18B lawyers are going to have to go to a judge for approval to get resources. So if you need an expert, you have to have approval for that expert, and you'll be given only a certain allotment of money for that expert or investigator, where the district attorney's office or federal prosecutor has limitless funds for their prosecution of the case.
And none of you guys right now struggle exactly with this same reality of the public defenders. Now let me ask quickly, because this issue came up. I want all 3 of you guys to weigh in, and I know you're dealing with one specifically, which is there's a call now in New York to have independent counsel attached to police-related shootings. Law enforcement's not crazy about this. They say you're basically indicting us for doing our jobs in many cases and creating an expectation that just because we fire a gun, we must have done something wrong. You argue you need it.
Absolutely, you need it. And what you'll see is almost every single time there's a deadly force case involving police, police commissioner or police chief goes on and says that it's a justified shooting. That's before there's been any comprehensive review of the case, any investigation, which means effectively that investigation is concluded. It's very difficult to put police in a position of policing themselves, and you'll find that even, for instance, in the Linhart shooting in Newburgh, you had the mayor, the chief of police, and the district attorney asking the governor for an independent prosecutor. That does several things. It brings calm to the community, number one. It gives the appearance that there's a neutral party investigating, and it also takes a burden off of the current law enforcement that's involved in the case. So that district
Let me bring in the other guys because I got to listen in a minute. Sure. You agree with him or no?
I think it depends who the independent prosecutor is. In my experience, most U.S. attorneys and district attorney's office are acting in good faith and scrupulously honest. I don't see any reason why a regular DA or U.S. attorney would be loath to prosecute a case of police misconduct.
For me.
I'm going to side with Mayo on this, and for not only reasons of there being an independent person looking at this with no axe to grind, but you know, it does give an appearance of propriety. It does calm the public. It does make the public
the DA
feel.
and the cops have to work together, right?
They do. They do.
Tough.
Why take the chance?
Gentlemen, thank you. I know we had a compressed schedule tonight, but you guys, as always, a great job. Thank you so much. All the time we have tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Till then, everyone, have a great evening.